I've never really understood people who want things the way they used to be. Not fully anyway. Like, I understand wanting to go back to a time where you didn't have as much worries or were happier, but the concept of thinking that things used to be objectively better has always been a weird concept to me. I remember once I was sitting in a diner and they had those old-fashioned glass ketchup bottles, the ones that you gotta smack on the bottom like my mistress smacks my bottom when I don't lick her toes properly to get the ketchup to come out like I cup. And sometimes it splatters everywhere, making a giant mess. My mom ended up telling me that she misses those bottles, and I asked, "You miss things being more inconvenient?" It's like when I talk to someone my age and they say they miss the way music used to be. Ah, yes, the pain of having to go buy a CD to hear the song you wanted to hear, and if that whole album was trash, then you not only wasted your money, but the act of having to get up and go swap CDs when the song was finished was also a pain in the ass, unless you had one of those overpriced stereos that had the multi-CD compartments, and don't even get me started on the lie that was anti-skip technology portable CD players. Nothing like trying to take a jog to your homie's crib to play some Midnight Club 2 only to have to deal with "You are desire and I too late that way." Yeah, bro, that's all way better than just simply having every song ever made on a small square in your pocket that never skips. Good shit. But the confusing opposite side of this coin is the idea that people shouldn't complain about current things because they used to be worse. A current thing with people from my generation: "Oh, you're complaining about slow internet? Well, you should be grateful. We used to have dial-up. You don't know slow internet till you gotta wait for your computer to dial a phone number to connect." Like, would you shut up? Yes, things used to suck. Doesn't mean they shouldn't be improved further. And that brings me to today's video. The other day, I made a small Reddit post asking for behavior in their quality of life updates to please get rid of the 20,000 prestige tax, as it's not only frustrating breaking the flow of leveling up a character, sometimes popping up when I have 19k blood points and forcing me to play another game in order to get my character to the next prestige, but it also serves no purpose. Its only effect seems to be to attempt to stop people from prestiging too fast, which, as I've said in the past, is dumb because there's simply too many characters in the game to worry about that. The post was mostly well received, but there was more than a few people saying we shouldn't be asking to remove it because they played back when prestiging removed all your items and it was much worse. And this is just such a silly thing to complain about. And it's like, what does it being worse in the past have to do with the now? I'll never understand this mentality that things have some sort of limit on how much they can be improved. Why does it being bad in the past mean that the bad things now have to be acceptable? Live service games are an ever-changing things. They are in constant states of being updated, and sometimes things need to go through multiple iterations before it can be considered as close to perfect as possible. And this isn't the first time I've heard this either. When I say that the blinding effect in DBD needs to have a darkened screen option to help people like me who have photosensitivity where bright lights hurt our eyes, people have this odd conclusion to jump in and explain to me that the blind effect used to be even brighter and I should just be happy it's not still like that. Like, no, I shouldn't just be happy. Why am I not allowed to want an accessibility feature to make my time playing one of my favorite video games more comfortable? At the end of the day, the games we play for fun because we love them. I love DBD and I want to improve even more so that future players can come to the game and have less frustrations. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Josh Strife Hayes, has a game design philosophy called quit moments. The way it goes is this: every frustrating moment is somebody's quit moment. In other words, every single time a frustrating thing happens, the 20k points to stopping a prestige, flashlights being too bright, the clunkiness of a killer they took time to unlock, the lack of a proper tutorial, whatever it may be, no matter how big or how little, is potentially the moment someone may put the game down and walk away forever. And thus the goal of a live service dev is to create as little frustrations as possible without ruining the integrity of the game's balance and structure. And so, if we can add improvements like removing a prestige tax or allowing photosensitive players to not get headaches from a base game mechanic, then why wouldn't we reduce the amount of frustrations players face? It feels so eerily similar to when the call for canceling all student debts came to America and many old codgers started screaming about how they paid their student debts off. You know, back when it wasn't part of a predatory system set up purely to exploit others through absurd interest rates that depended on the poverty wages paid to an even more exploited labor force. And since they suffered, then others must suffer like they did. Less severe, obviously, but it's the same spirit. Just because things were worse, and just because you went through hell, doesn't mean we can't work to make the future better, whether that be in a silly little video game like Dead by Daylight, or real life. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.